Zhao Yalin, your warship has been locked. Surrender, don't waste your time. Cui Hao's voice came from the communication channel, carrying a lot of ridicule, and I heard my teeth almost shattered. I sat in the mock battleship, staring at the holographic screen in front of me. On the screen, my small warship was surrounded by Cui Hao's team, and the red police mark was flickering, and the energy shield was less than 10%. This is the last assessment of the International Alliance Military School. You can enter the elite team as long as you pass it. But Cui Hao and his guy were deliberately trying to point at me, and they bit me from the beginning with his little follower. Surrender. Go dream. I gritted my teeth and ran quickly on the control panel, trying to find a way around the conflict. But Cui Hao's war was too fierce. His main force directly suppressed my firepower. The two guards surrounded me from the side and forced me into the stone belt, without even hiding. Yalin, your data is too chaotic and cannot break his defense network at all. Lin Xiaoqing's voice was transmitted from the communication device next to him. She is my best tool and a technical genius. She is now helping me analyze the data at the battle scene. Cui Hao must have made his foot in advance. His team's reaction speed is abnormal, as if someone opened the back door for him. So what happens when you open the door? I sneered, staring at Cui Hao's main force on the screen. If I don't knock him down today, I won't call Zhao Yalin. That's how it is said, but now my warship engine is too hot, and my weapon energy is almost exhausted. The firepower network of the 3 ships on the opposite side is getting tighter and can turn me into slag at any time. The classmates in the war zone are probably watching jokes. How could I, a general student who has no background and no backing, fight against a high-level lackey like Cui Hao? At this moment, my watch suddenly vibrated, and a line of blue small words popped up on the screen. The star navigation system is activated. Will you accept the help? I was stunned for a moment. What is this thing? This watch is a homemade treasure left to me by my dad. But I have worn it for so many years and I have never seen anything special about it. Why did it suddenly pop up today? Accept. I didn't have time to think too much, so I directly pressed the confirmation key. The next second, the watch released a low bird, and the blue light swept through my vision, and the entire battle screen changed instantly. The energy flow of the enemy's fleet, the charging time of the weapon, and even the weakness of the defense of Cui Hao's main force are all displayed in red marks, which is as clear as the teaching in science books. There was a lot of data and combat advice in my brain, like someone stuffed it in directly. What kind of immortal thing is this? My heart beat faster, and my fingers followed the suggestion to operate. The battle was a sudden turn and avoided Cui Hao's wave of advisor attacks. Zhao Yalin, are you not giving up? Cui Hao's voice sounded again, with a little impatient feeling. It's useless to slap it any longer. I have already figured out your warship data. Please understand it. Touch it through, right? I squirted, and my eyes closed the weakness mark of his main force on the screen. Then let's see who's finished first. I directly switched to the warship mode, suppressed all the remaining energy onto the main gun, aimed at the energy core of Cui Hao's ship, and pulled the fender hard. A dazzling beam of light instantly teared the battlefield, hitting his shield with weakness. He only heard a shock sound. Cui Hao's main shield collapsed directly, and a simulated fire light appeared in the ship. The system prompted his warship to lose 70% of his combat power. How is that possible? Cui Hao's voice came from the message, full of disbelief. How do you know my shield weakness? Guess. I snorted coldly, my fingers didn't stop, and the warfare slipped to avoid the firepower of his guard. At the same time, I backhanded a wave of miniature guides, accurately hitting the engine of another guard, and directly letting it exit the battle. The students in the war zone were furious, and the communication channels were full of shock. Bok, is Zhao Yalin open? Didn't Cui Hao say he is safe? Why was he killed? Cui Hao's face must be hard to watch, but I didn't have time to care about him. While he was in a mess with the team, I directly rushed towards his main force, locked it at close range, and the main gun was charged again. Cui Hao, the game is over. I shouted softly, and the main gun beam burst out again, and this time it directly penetrated his body. The system determined that his warship would be completely eliminated. Striker, Zhao Yalin. The cold sound of the assessment system started to sound, and the whole scene fell into a short silence, and then there was a thunderous sound. I leaned against the seat, gasping for breath, and felt very happy. That wave of operation just now is simple and it's like dreaming. What exactly is the navigation system on the watch? How can we get to this point? The door of the battle opens, and I walk out, and Cui Hao's face is facing me. I will be with you anytime. I am proud of my shoulders, but I don't take him seriously. This guy is a little boy. He relies on his high-level background in the Alliance to be so arrogant. Today I was beaten by everyone, and I guess I have to cry and find a backer when I go back. Yalin, it's awesome. Lin Shaoqing came over from the crowd and patted my shoulder admiringly. You just had that wave of operation, and it was so easy. How did you do it? Secret. I blinked her, without saying much. The watch is so strange, I have to figure it out first before telling her. At this moment, a low female voice came from behind the crowd. Zhao Yalin, she performed well. I turned around and saw that the person talking was a woman wearing a black battle suit. She was tall and so strong that she dared not look directly. She walked over and looked at me with a sharp look. I am Chen Meiqi, the representative of the Resistance Army. I have seen this assessment. You are qualified to join the elite team, come with me. Resist the army? I bowed and felt a little alert. Although the Star Alliance is a silver galaxy on the surface, it has long been uncovered inside. Resistance is a force against the Alliance's hegemony. What does Chen Meiqi mean when she came to me? Don't miss it. Chen Meiqi seemed to see through my thoughts and smiled faintly. The Alliance's high level is not as clean as you think. Your talent shouldn't be buried. Joining the elite team, I guarantee that you can access the real battle, rather than these small-scale simulation assessments. I was silent for a while, and I felt in my heart that this woman knew something. I have heard a lot of voices about the high-level problems of the Alliance, such as uneven resource allocation and the shady scenes behind the war, but what is it? How can I, a general student, touch it? Okay, I'll join. I clicked the head and decided to take a chance. Chen Meiqi's eyes didn't look like she was fooling people, and I didn't want to be a small character and be trampled under the feet by Cui Hao's goods. Smart choice. Chen Meiqi curled her lips and turned around and led the way. Let's go, your battle career has only officially begun now. As she left the assessment site, I glanced down at my wristwatch. The blue light had disappeared, and only a line of small words remained on the screen. The system is dormant, waiting for the next mission. My heart sank. What is this? Why would you choose to start at this time? Also, Cui Hao, who was hit by me, would definitely not be tempted and willing to let go. Will the people behind him be troubled by me? More importantly, how deep is the shady secrets of the Alliance mentioned by Meiqi Chen? I clenched my fists tightly, and there was only one thought in my head. No matter what was ahead, Zhao Yalin would step on the enemy and climb to the top step by step, so that those who looked down on me would all kneel down and call me the queen. On the first day I joined the elite team, I felt a sense of unfavorable smell in the air. The warships at the training grounds are all the latest models, and the energy shield and weapon systems are several files higher than the military school's simulation gear, but the old team members looked at me like they were looking at a newcomer who would drag their legs at any time. Zhao Yalin, don't think that if you win Cui Hao, you can really stand firm. Team leader Li Jiong, a middle-aged man with a face full of beards, patted my shoulders. His temperament was full of warnings. The elite team is not a family. The mission failure is the next scene. There is only a dead end. I understand. I pointed my head, but there was not much pressure in my heart. A dead end? I, Zhao Yalin, was not a big deal. Chen Meiqi stood aside, saying nothing, just threw me a set of battle suits and warship operation manual, and then said lightly, 3 days later, in the first mission, I will send a batch of energy crystals to the edge of the star field. Don't let me down. After 3 days of flying, I spent almost all my energy on getting to know the new war. This thing is called Thunder, and is extremely fast. The power of the main gun can directly tear a small guardrail, and its maneuverability is simply a dream for newcomers. I stayed up all night before I could even master the operation process. On the day of the mission, our team had a total of 5 warships. I was assigned to the back of the hall and was responsible for the warning. Team leader Li Ji led the head, Chen Meiqi was in the middle of the town, and the communication channel was full of her cold instructions: keep the team shape, the thunder is fully opened, the star field in the border area has not been peaceful recently, so prepare for battle at any time. I held the control rod, and my heart was a little tight. This is my first real gun mission. Although I have the powerful firepower of the thunder to thunder, I guess I have to take my life in any trouble whenever I make a mistake. The team just entered the rock belt in the edge of the star field, and Leda suddenly called the police, and the red warning signs jumped out in a dense manner. Li Ji's voice came from the communication, with a hurried point: all members are alert. The enemy team is approaching, the number is unknown, ready to fight. As the voice fell, more than 10 warships suddenly emerged from behind the stone belt, and the energy artillery fire rushed towards us directly. It's Cui Hao. I stared at the enemy's magazine on the screen and bit my teeth. I am too familiar with the main ship of that guy. I beat this ship to the military school assessment. Now it seems that he is here to take revenge. Zhao Yalin, don't be stunned and cover the left wing. Li Ji's roar came from the message, but I didn't have time to react. Cui Hao's fleet had already surrounded the side wings, and the 2 high-speed guards directly rushed my thunder number, hitting the guide as if they were not worth money. Damn, do you want to kill me? I shouted, and my fingers flew quickly. The thunder number rushed and rushed to avoid the first wave of attacks, but the shield was still scraped 30%. The opponent's firepower was too strong, our team was completely beaten up, and the other guard was also sunk, and the communication channel was full of the voices of the teammates. Zhao Yalin, aren't you quite capable? Today I'll let you know what a real battle scene is. Cui Hao's voice came from the public channel, full of ridicule: you can't even pass the pioneer team of your small broken team. Do you want to protect energy crystals? Make a dream. I was so angry that our fleet was in great trouble, with only 3 warships left to support us. There were 8 of Cui Hao's pioneer troops, and the firepower pressure made us unable to lift our heads at all. Chen Meiqi's voice also became low: all members retreat, save their strength, and the energy crystal cannot fall into the enemy's hands. Retreat? My heart sank. Retreat means the mission failed. The first mission of the elite team was destroyed. This face was too big. What's more, Cui Hao, a guy who is obviously obsessed with me. If you don't give him some color today, you will not be bothered by me every day in the future. At this moment, my watch suddenly vibrated, and the blue light flashed, and the familiar small words popped up on the screen: the star navigation system is activated, are you receiving help? Accept. I didn't hesitate and directly pressed the confirmation key. The next second, the battle scenes rushed into my brain like a tide. The energy flow, weapon charging time, and even the weaknesses of each ship were all clearly marked. There is another conflicting route in my vision, which is so precise that people's skin feel numb. Captain Chen, don't retreat, fight back with me. I yelled, directly switched to the Thunder's battle mode, completely suppressed the energy on the main gun, aimed at the weak engine of a protective gear in the pioneer Cui Hao's troops, and pulled the gear down hard. Surprise! A beam of light tore the battlefield, and the engine of the guard was directly exploded, and the body rolled over and exploded in the stone belt, turning into a group of fireballs. Cui Hao's team formation was in a mess in an instant, and his roar was all over the communication channel: Zhao Yalin, you are looking for death. It's you who is looking for death. I sneered, my fingers didn't stop. The thunder slid on one side, avoiding the opponent's counterattack firepower, and at the same time locked the energy core of another guard. Another shot, hitting accurately, directly allowing it to withdraw from the battle. Yalin, are you crazy? Li Ji's voice came from the communication, with a little disbelief. How do you know their weakness? Sign up. I fooled me, staring at the screen. The combat advice given by the navigation system was too precise, as if I was cheating. Although Chuihao's pioneering troops are large in number, the team shape is too strong to rely on firepower pressure, and the side wings are not weak at all. As long as I am in trouble with their shape, other teammates can find a chance to counterattack. Captain Chen, Chief Li, they can't defend against the side of me. I yelled, and controlled the left-wing ship. That thunder number directly slammed Chuihao, and opened the fire of the guide and main gun, breaking a gap. Although Chen Meiqi and Li Hai were a little hesitant at first, they saw me sinking 2 enemy ships and gritting their teeth and following them. All members listened to the order, concentrated their firepower, and suddenly broke out with Yalin. Chen Meiqi's voice finally brought a little decision. Our 3 warships formed a sharp horn shape, killing a bloody path from Chuihao's encirclement network. 3 more enemy ships were beaten up by us, and Chuihao's pioneer troops were completely in a mess, and the team was scattered like a plate of sand. Zhao Yalin, I remember you. Chuihao's voice came from the channel, gritting his teeth and cutting, but his main force had already begun to retreat, and he obviously didn't dare to fight hard anymore. The remaining few guards also ran fast, and their eyes disappeared from the depths of the stone belt. Strike it! Li Ji's voice came from the communication, bringing the joy of being born after a little disaster. Zhao Yalin, you can do it, you will make great contributions just now. I leaned against the seat and wiped the sweat from the bottom of my head, feeling so happy. The response just now was just like dreaming. The data analysis of the navigation system was too distorted. I was caught by Chuihao's team weakly, and even the chance to get him even if he had a hand. Yalin, fucked beautifully. Chen Meiqi's voice came from the communication, and there was finally a lot of appreciation in her language. The Alliance High Level will hear the report of this battle, and Chuihao's face has become bigger this time. It's a trivial matter to lose face. I grinned, I can hit him again next time he comes. After the battle ended, our team took a short rest in the starry field in the border area, and the Thunder shield and engine were severely damaged and needed urgent maintenance. Just then, a girl in a technical uniform walked over with short hair and a pair of black-framed glasses, with a shrewd light in her eyes. Zhao Yalin, I am Lin Shaoqing, the technical consultant of the fleet. She looked at me up and down, her language was a little curious. I just had that wave of war reaction. It was so bad. I saw the data flow of your warship. The operation accuracy was extremely high. How did you do it? Talentedness. I have no intention of saying anything more. This is so strange about the navigation system that I haven't figured it out yet, and I don't want to be exposed at the moment. Lin Shaoqing curled her lips, obviously not believing it, but she didn't ask, but just pointed to the Thunder. Your warship is very severe, and the shield generator is almost incomplete. I can help you modify it and ensure that the firepower of the next battle will double. Remodel? I raised my eyebrows, a little heartwarming. Although the firepower of the Thunder is strong, the balance between the shield and the engine is too poor, and a lot of problems were exposed just after the battle. If it can be improved, I may be able to directly kill Chuihao's main force next time. Of course, I'm a technical genius. Lin Shaoqing patted her chest, full of confidence. Give me a day, I can increase your main gun energy output by 20% and increase the shield recovery speed by 10%. However, you have to answer me. Let me follow you next time, and I can collect real-life data. Trade. I pointed, and I felt a little more favorable to this girl. It is hard to find a technical genius. Although Lin Shaoqing looks a bit sarcastic, it can help me improve my combat power, which is definitely a good tool. The modification work was faster than I thought. Lin Shaoqing carried a bunch of tools and started working directly in the Thunder machine. She knocked and slapped her, and chatted with me. Yalin, do you know? Someone behind Chui Hao's guy is sucking his waist. Today's slap in this scene may have been deliberately arranged by the Alliance's top leaders. High level. I browed, and I had a little bad premonition in my heart. Are you saying, someone wants to kill me? It won't be enough to kill you. Lin Shaoqing pushed the lens and said in a low voice, but the elite team is very deep. You are too talented, so there will always be people who can't see it. Chui Hao is a little boy, a real big fish, and he is still behind. I didn't say anything, but I just started to count. I have heard the high-level problems of the Alliance for a long time, but what is it? How can I touch the side of a newcomer? However, Chui Hao was beaten away by me this time and I guess he will soon be back, so I have to prepare for it. After the modification, the performance of the thunder number has indeed improved a lot. The main gun charge speed is so fast that the shield has recovered a lot. Lin Shaoqing and I tried flying once, and the effect was so good that I couldn't help but want to find Chui Hao to fuck him again immediately. At this moment, Chen Meiqi came to me. She called me to the guide room and after closing the door, her face looked abnormally serious. Zhao Yalin, you performed very well in today's battle, but I have something to tell you. What's the matter? I looked at her eyes, feeling confused in my heart. The Alliance High Level is secretly developing an ultimate weapon called antimaterial bomb. Chen Meiqi's voice was very low, as if she was afraid of the walls. This thing is so powerful that it can destroy the entire star field. Once it is completed, the balance of the Silver Galaxy will be finally over. I doubt that Chui Hao's attack has something to do with this plan. Antimatter explosion. I was shocked. It was not a good thing to hear the name. If it really looks like Chen Meiqi said, once this weapon falls into the hands of a bad person, the consequences will be simply unthinkable. Yes. Chen Meiqi pointed his head and looked at me with a sharp look. I need your help, Zhao Yalin. You have talent and value, to help me dig out the truth behind this. I promise that the resistance army will give you the greatest support. I was silent for a while, my brain flew quickly. The antimatter bombing sounds too much. Can I, a newcomer, really get into this kind of trait? But think about it, if I retreat now, how can I climb to the top in the future? I can even step on a small character like Chui Hao, so what is the high-level one? Okay, I'll help you. I gritted my teeth and looked calm, but I have a condition. After the truth is dug out, I'll kill those guys who are messing around. Chen Meiqi was stunned for a moment, then smiled. I ambitious. Get a deal. When I left the room, I looked down at my wristwatch. The blue light had disappeared, but I knew in my heart that this thing was definitely not simple. Antimatter explosions, high-level slander, Chui Hao's report. These things come one by one, but I'm not afraid at all. No matter what is ahead, I, Zhao Yalin, will kill a way out. Those who look down on me have long been so angry that they kneel down and call me the queen. All members listen to the orders, keep wireless silent after entering the enemy zone, thunder is fully opened, and prepare for battle at any time. I issued the order in the thunder's command, and the sound was transmitted to each battleship through the communication channel. On the screen, the star map shows that we are close to the shadow star domain in the Alliance. This place is the core area of Lu Feng's power, and the research and development base for antimatter bombing may be here. This mission was arranged by Chen Meiqi himself, and the goal is very simple, to dive into the Shadow Star domain and obtain relevant information about antimaterial bombs, and it is best to directly destroy their research and development progress. There are 5 warships in the fleet. I am the temporary commander. The Thunder number is the pioneer and is responsible for exploring the way and responding to emergencies. Lin Shaoqing sat in the technical position beside me, and quickly tapped his fingers on the control panel to try to crack the enemy's LEDA interference. Yalin, the energy fluctuation here is too strange. Lin Shaoqing pushed the lens, with a little uneasy in her language. I detected several high-energy reactions, such as the charging signal of a large weapon. Lu Feng must have buried thunder here, so we have to be careful. Be careful, but I'm afraid it's not my style. I sneered and stared at the screen. Lu Feng, a gangster in the alliance, is also Cui Hao's backing. Last time Cui Hao was beaten away by me, I guess I had reported my name long ago. This time I entered the enemy, I knew that I would most likely run into a tough guy. Not long after the team entered the Shadow Star domain, Leda suddenly rushed to the police, and the red warning mark jumped out like a rain spot. In the dark starry sky ahead, dozens of energy beams suddenly lit up, and then waves of guide groups rushed us straight towards us, with the firepower as if they were to tear the entire fleet apart. All members are dispersed, and the defense mode is activated. I shouted, and my fingers are flying quickly. The thunder number is swiftly redirected, barely avoiding the first wave of attacks, but the shield is still scratched by 20%. In the communication channel, the captains of other warships also began to report losses. The second-tier shield lost 30%. The third-tier engine was damaged and the speed decreased. Damn, comes so quickly. I bit my teeth and showed 15 enemy troops on the screen. I could see the logo of the main ship at a glance. It was Lu Feng's flag, Black Point. The firepower and defense were deteriorating. Next to it was Cui Hao's familiar main ship, as if waiting for revenge. Zhao Yalin, I didn't expect you to come and die. Lu Feng's voice came from the public channel, his temperament was as cold as ice. I heard Cui Hao say, you are a hard head, today I will crush you with my hands to see how hard you are. Crush me? Let's see if you have this ability first. I replied, feeling a little nervous. Lu Feng's fleet not only has a large number of ships, but also has a very strong team. The main force is located in the center of the town, with high-speed maintenance on both wings. There are also several heavy firepower ships behind, and the firepower network is so close that it can't fly. Our 5 warships were completely suppressed, and there was almost no space left for our hands. To make matters worse, radar showed an energy reaction behind us, and several enemy ships emerged from the stone belt, blocking the retreat directly. This is not an ordinary hit, this is a trap that Lu Feng has long set, waiting for us to join the Ronaldo website. Yalin, the back road has been blocked, and the force will be completely defeated. Lin Xiaoqing's voice was a little urgent. Her data analysis on the screen showed that our team energy was less than half as close to the other side, and fighting hard was to seek death. Is the whole army covered? That's not possible. I gritted my teeth and rushed forward. You can't fight hard or retreat. The only way out is to find the opponent's breakthrough and kill a bloody path. But Lu Feng's team shape is too stable, and the firepower pressure makes us unable to lift our heads at all. Where is the breaking point? At this moment, my watch suddenly vibrated, and the blue light flashed, and the familiar small words popped out. The star navigation system is activated, will it accept assistance? Accept. I didn't hesitate and directly pressed the confirmation key. The next second, the war scenes rushed into my brain like a flood. The energy flow of Liu Feng's fleet, the charging time of weapons, and even the weaknesses of each ship's defense were all shown in red marks. There is another line of conflict in my vision, which is so precise that people's skin is numb, and the goal is to point directly to Lu Feng's flag, black numerals. What is this loophole? I stared at the screen, my heartbeat accelerated. The navigation system marked the energy core of the black purifier. There was a tiny defense gap, and the shield was not covered completely. As long as you could get this close, it could damage his main gun system and even cause a lock explosion. Yalin, what are you doing? If you don't move, we'll be done. Lin Xiaoqing saw that I didn't react and slapped the table in a hurry. Don't worry, I have a way. I grinned and quickly ordered in the communication channel, all members listen to me to point out the second and third planes to cover the left wing, the fourth and fifth planes to attract the right wing firepower. I led the middle lane and tiered their defenses. Enter the middle lane. Are you crazy? That's Lu Feng's flag, the most firepower. The voice of the second-tier captain changed, and he clearly felt that I was dying. Believe me once, it's okay. I didn't have time to explain, but directly switched the Thunder's battle mode, completely suppressed the energy on the main gun and the engine, and rushed towards the Black Elbow. Lu Feng's firepower network indeed came over, and the guide bullet and light beam fell like a heavy rain. The Thunder shield instantly dropped to 50%, and the alarm sounded so hard that his ears hurt. Zhao Yalin, you are really not afraid of death. Lu Feng's voice sounded again, with a little ridicule, but it's useless to just have a lot of money, so I'll make her a scum. It's a slag. Try it. I bit my teeth and the Thunder, under the guidance of the navigation system, slipped several high-difficulty sides, and forced to avoid most of the firepower. As I got closer and closer to the black tin, the mark on the screen became clearer and clearer, and the bottom in my heart became stronger and stronger. All members cover up my firepower and concentrate on the middle lane. I shouted. Although the other 4 warships were very worried, they still gritted their teeth and kept up, attracting most of the firepower of the Lu Feng fleet. The Thunder number finally reached the close distance of the Black Purifier. The main gun locked the gap and was full of energy. I pulled the trigger hard. Surprise! A dazzling beam of light hit the energy core of the black tin, and the shield directly cracked in the gap. The beam penetrated the body, causing a series of explosions. The main gun system of the black-purple nose storm suddenly appeared in the body, and Lu Feng's roar was transmitted from the communication channel. How is it possible? How can my shield be penetrated? How is it possible? Because you met me. I sneered, my fingers didn't stop. The Thunder took advantage of the situation and avoided the opponent's counterattack firepower. At the same time, a wave of miniature guides accurately hit the black pin engine, which ultimately made it lose its fighting power. The Lu Feng fleet's team was in a mess instantly, the main force was recreated, and other warships seemed to have no backbone, and the firepower was dispersed in a mess. I seized the opportunity and took the lead team to fight back with all my might. The 2nd and 4th planes jointly sank Cui Hao's main plane. The remaining enemy's vision was not good and began to flee in all directions. All members chase, don't let them run away. I gritted my teeth and ordered, and the Thunder headed towards an energy reaction point behind the enemy's fleet. According to the prompts of the navigation system, it was an important base for Lu Feng, which may be a temporary storage point for antimaterial bombs. Zhao Yalin, don't be too stupid. Lu Feng's voice came from the channel, with obvious anger and reluctance. Do you think you won this game? You can never stop the plan against the material explosion. Can't stop it? Then try it. I replied, the main gun of Thunder directly locked the energy core of the base. After several beams of light, a huge fire burst out from the entire base, which then turned into a group of debris and floated in the starry sky. The base is destroyed, the mission is completed. I leaned on the seat, gasping for breath, and felt very happy. The absolute response just now was just like dreaming. The data of the navigation system was too volatile. I caught Lu Feng's flag weak point tightly, and even the chance to take it was not given to him. This battle not only drove away his team, but also blew up his base. He was probably so angry that he vomited blood when he returned. Yalin, you are so simple. Lin Shaoqing raised her head from the technical position beside her, her eyes full of admiration. Lu Feng's flag guard is at the top of the alliance. Why did you kill it in one shot? Sign up. I didn't say much. I still have to keep the navigation system secret. This thing is too strange, so I have to figure out its background first. After the battle ended, our fleet suffered heavy losses, with only 3 of the 5 warships left to sail normally, and the Thunder shield and engine were almost limitless. However, the harvest was equally huge. Lin Shaoqing intercepted some of the enemy's communication data during the battle, and there was actually some technical data about antimaterial explosions. Back to the temporary supplement point, Lin Shaoqing immediately began to crack the data. I sat beside me and watched her operation, and I felt a little bad in my heart. I was hit by Lu Feng, so I would never be good at silence, and the antimaterial explosions became more and more evil. Yalin, the data has been cracked. Lin Xiaoqing's voice suddenly sounded, and there was a clear shock in her language. Look at this, the power of the antimaterial bomb is more terrifying than we imagined. I took her tablet and the data displayed on the screen made my skin numb. Once this bomb is detonated, the released energy can instantly destroy a medium-sized star domain, and even black holes can be created, which is so powerful that it is completely uncontrollable. If this is really mass production, the balance of the Silver Galaxy will be finally over, and no one can escape whether it is the Alliance or the Rebel Army. This thing is simply a crazy person's trick. I gritted my teeth and a fire ignited in my heart. What exactly do Lu Feng and Gao Li want to fuck? Using this weapon, is it hard to blow up the entire Silver River Sis into slag? What's worse is that the data shows that their R&D progress has been halfway through. Lin Xiaoqing pushed the lens, looking at her face. If we don't stop it as quickly as possible, this thing will be put into the real battle within half a year. By then, no one can hold it. You have to slap it even if you can't hold it. I slapped the table, my eyes must be like a knife. Lu Feng, a guy like me, was beaten by me today, and I guess he was so angry that he jumped. But this was just the beginning. If the antimaterial bomb was not solved for a day, I wouldn't let him go. Lin Xiaoqing was a little bit, and then said in a low voice, I will continue to crack the data and try to find out the core technical weaknesses of the bomb. However, Yalin, you have to prepare for your mentality. Lu Feng's strength behind him is greater than we imagined. This battle is not that easy to fight. It's easy or not, I will know it after hitting. I snorted coldly, and I had already made up my mind. No matter who is behind Lu Feng, no matter how deep the chant is, Zhao Yalin, have to dig it out and stomp it down. I won't let go of those guys who want to destroy the Silver River. At this time, Chen Meiqi walked in and after listening to our report, her face became unusually serious. Zhao Yalin, you performed very well in today's battle. Lu Feng's base was destroyed, which was a big blow to his plan. But antimaterial explosions are far more complicated than we think. In the high level of the Alliance, some people are more dangerous than Lu Feng. It's more dangerous than Lu Feng. I bowed and felt that things were getting less and less simple. Yes. Chen Meiqi pointed at me and looked at me with a sharp look. The resistance army will fully support you, but you must also understand that the price of this battle may be greater than you think. Are you ready? Prepare. I'll be ready from the day I joined the elite team. I grinned, clenched my fists. No matter who Lu Feng or who dares to sway my way, I will regret giving birth. Chen Meiqi didn't say anything else, just patted my shoulder and turned away and opened the supplement. I looked at her back and a desire aroused in my heart. Antimatter explosions, Lu Feng's report, high-level darkness. These things come one by one, but I'm not afraid at all. The future of the Silver River Galaxy, I said that. Those who look down on me have long been so angry that they kneel down and call me the Queen. I sat in the Thunderbolt's guide, staring at the dense star maps on the holographic screen, and a fire burned in my heart. I just snatched from the battle in the Shadow Star domain. Lu Feng's guy was beaten to the ground by me, but the blasting horns of the material were like a thorn, which made me feel uncomfortable. Chen Meiqi said correctly, if this matter is not resolved, the Silver River will not be able to rest for a day. Yalin, the troops that rebel against the army have been assembled. Chen Meiqi's voice came from the communication channel, with a sense of pressure in the cold and quiet. We are waiting for you at the secret base of the neighboring star domain. This action must be fatal and uprooted Lu Feng's strength. I understand. I sneered, and a sneer appeared on the corner of my mouth. Lu Feng thought it was over after eating it last time. This time I let him know what real hope is. Lin Xiaoqing sat in the technical position beside her, and her fingers quickly knocked on the control panel. She raised her head and looked at me, and pushed the lens. Yalin, although the troops against the army are numerous, Lu Feng's strength plate is wrong. His core team and points are not easy to chew. What plan do you have? Plan? I leaned on the seat and narrowed my eyes. Simple, concentrate firepower, smash his lair first, and then cut off his supplement line, so that there is no place for him to run. Lin Shaoqing rolled her eyes and muttered, "What are you calling a plan? This is called a reckless man's playing style." But she said that she had not stopped in her hands and had already begun to adjust the point distribution diagram of Lu Feng's strength, marking several places with the strongest energy reaction, which is probably his core base. A few hours later, the thunder arrived at the secret base of the neighboring star domain. The rebels were ready to be deployed. The dense warships were parked in the starry sky, with hundreds of ships, ranging from small guards to heavy main ships, and I was so excited that I could see them. Chen Meiqi stood in the flag-stepping room, wearing a black battle suit, and her aura was so strong that people dared not look directly. "Zhao Yalin, you will be the former commander in this operation." Chen Meiqi straightforwardly and threw me a communication headphone. Although there are many troops against the army, the lack of unity is a big problem. I need you to use your war to pull everyone into a tide and penetrate Lu Feng's heart. Don't worry, hand it over to me. I took the headphones and was full of confidence. Last time in the Shadow Star domain, I could even carry 5 broken ships to blow up Lu Feng's flags. This time, the resistance army was thrusting. Who am I afraid? Before the operation began, Chen Meiqi and I made a simple and rough plan. The team attacked in 3 directions, and we led the first ladder to directly rush Lu Feng's core point to the Black Iron Fortress. Chen Meiqi led the second ladder to encircle his supplementary line, and the third ladder was responsible for controlling the enemy's aid troops. The goal is very clear. First, destroy the Black Iron Fortress, cut off Lu Feng's foundation, and then make a concerted effort to level his strength. All members listen to the order, start the engine, and target the Black Iron Fortress. With the order, a response sound came from the communication channel, and the troops that resisted the army rushed into Lu Feng's force range in a mighty manner. As the pioneer, the Thunder number brought 30 warships to the forefront, and the Thunder was fully opened and ready to hit the slam at any time. Not long after entering the enemy zone, Leda rushed to the police. 10 enemy ships suddenly appeared from the starry sky ahead. The firepower network smashed over, and the guide bullet and energy beam seemed to be free of money, instantly caught our forward team off guard. It's Cui Hao's pioneer team. Lin Shaoqing quickly adjusted the enemy's data and gritted her teeth. This guy is coming to die again, bringing 50 warships, and his firepower is not weak. Send to death. Then let him do it. I sneered, and my fingers flew fast on the control panel, and at the same time ordered in the communication channel, all members will scatter, adopt the sharp styling, and use the middle lane with me, tearing the gap open. Although the rebels cooperated for the first time, my combat commands were simple and direct. Everyone quickly adjusted the team shape. The Thunder headed towards the center of Cui Hao's fleet, and the firepower was fully opened. The main gun beam directly tore an enemy guardrail. Other warships followed and killed a bloody path from the enemy firepower network. Zhao Yalin, you really dare to come? Cui Hao's voice came from the public channel, full of gritting his teeth and hatred. Last time I let you run away, I see how you die this time. Die? Let's see how many minutes you can hold. I replied, staring at the screen. At this moment, the watch suddenly vibrated, the blue light flashed, and the familiar small words popped out. The star navigation system is activated. Will it accept the help? Accept. I pressed the confirmation key without hesitation. The next second, the battle data swept into the brain, and the weaknesses, energy flow, and even the team shape of Cui Hao's team were all clearly marked. There is another conflicting route in my vision, pointing directly to Cui Hao's main force. All members listen to my pointing, concentrate their firepower to hit their left wing, where the defense is weakest. I yelled, and the Thunder number turned rapidly, and directly pushed Cui Hao's left wing ship with its fleet. The main gun and guided bullets were sprinting. After several beams of light, the 3 guards on the left wing were directly exploded, and the team collapsed instantly. How is that possible? Cui Hao's voice was clearly shocked, but I didn't give him a chance to breathe. Thunder took advantage of the trouble to lock his main ship, and passed a wave of main guns at close range, directly punching through his shield, and smoke came out of his body. The system determined that he had lost 80% of his fighting power. Cui Hao, go back and tell Lu Feng, I'm here. I snorted coldly, my fingers didn't stop, and the leader team continued to kill. Cui Hao's pioneer troops were completely stunned, and the remaining ships fled in scattered areas. Our first ladder team had almost no losses and directly killed the outside of the Black Iron Fortress. Yalin, fucked beautifully. Chen Meiqi's voice came from the communication, with a little appreciation. The second-tier team has cut off Lu Feng's supplementary line, and the third-tier team has also restrained the aid. Now the Black Iron Fortress is yours, smash it hard for me. Received. I grinned, my eyes locked in the Black Iron Fortress on the screen. This place is Lu Feng's military core, with defense forts and shield generators all around it, and the firepower is strong, and it is hard to get killed. But the navigation system has marked the energy point of the fortress shield. As long as that point is destroyed, the shield will collapse. All members covered me up and concentrated their firepower to attack the energy points in the southeast corner. The shield is broken, rush in. I yelled, and the troops that resisted the troops rushed into the fortress like wolf, bombing and light beams blew up the internal facilities. The core energy tower of the fortress collapsed with my own fingers, and the entire base turned into a huge fireball, floating in the starry sky. The Black Iron Fortress is destroyed. A thunderous cry broke out from the communication channel, and the soldiers who resisted the army instantly reached the top. I leaned against the seat, wiped my sweat, and felt very happy. Lu Feng must be so angry that he vomited blood this time. I took his core point and his face was probably green. But the battle has not ended. In the next few days, our fleet was unstoppable, continuously destroying Lu Feng's 5 important points. From the supplementary station to the weapon warehouse, we didn't let go of anything. The war reports of the rebel army spread throughout the Silver River. My name, Zhao Yalin, began to be transmitted in major star fields. All ordinary soldiers in the alliance were discussing, saying that I was a crazy person who could single-handedly challenge Lu Feng. Yalin, you are now a hot topic in the Silver River galaxy. Lin Shaoqing tried the thunder system and joked with me, many people in the resistance army called you, Queen of Stars, saying that you could have stepped on Lu Feng under your feet. Queen. This is a good number. I smiled and said with a smile, but there was not much trouble in my heart. I don't care whether it's famous or not. What I want is Lu Feng's life, the end of antimaterial explosion. As long as these 2 goals are not achieved, I will be relaxed for a day. Just as we were preparing to launch a final attack on Lu Feng, Leda suddenly called the police, and a strong energy wave came from the depth of the starry sky. Then hundreds of warships emerged from the darkness, and the team was so stunning that it was a top-level team in the alliance. The flag headed by him is Lu Feng's, black numeral. Although I beaten up last time, it seems to have been repaired now and its energy is stronger than before. Zhao Yalin, you really dare to come. Lu Feng's voice came from the public channel, his language was as cold as ice. I thought I won after a few points. Today I brought my elite team. I see how you run. Run? Who said I'm going to run? I sneered, staring at the screen. Lu Feng brought at least 150 warships this time, twice our number, and his firepower was even more crushed. The rebels were instantly beaten by the opponent's first wave of attacks, and several guards were directly destroyed. The communication channels were filled with the voices of teammates. Yalin, the situation is not good. Their firepower network is too close. Lin Shaoqing's voice was a little urgent. The screen showed that our team energy was declining rapidly, and the shield loss rate had exceeded 40%. So what's the secret? With me here, no one can hold me. I bit my teeth and ran quickly with my fingers. The thunder number rushed to avoid a wave of guided attacks. At the same time, the order was issued in the communication channel, all members are dispersed, use gamblers, don't fight hard, hold them. Although the troops that resisted the army were suppressed, my combat instructions made everyone firmly calm their feet and began to disperse and avoid the enemy's firepower. But Lu Feng's elite team was not vegetarian. Their team shape was adjusted very quickly, and they forced our team into a stone belt, and the retreat was completely blocked. Zhao Yalin, surrender, you have no way out. Lu Feng's voice sounded again, with obvious pride, the rebel army is just a group of Ukrainians. How could it be that I can beat my talent? People of Yuhi. Let's see who's finished first. I gritted my teeth and flew quickly. The watch vibrated again, the navigation system started, the battlefield data swept into the brain, and the weakness of the Lu Feng team was marked, but this time his team shape was too stable, and the only attacking breaking point was on the rear engine of the Black Seldom, which needed a close-range blast to hit. All members cover me up, I want to blacken the tiny numbers. I yelled, and the thunder directly switched to the fight mode, fully compressed the energy to the engine and main gun, and rushed towards Lu Feng's flag. Although the troops that resisted the army were very frustrated, they still gritted their teeth and followed and carried the firepower to open the way for me. Looking for death. Lu Feng snorted coldly, and the firepower of the guardrail around the Black Lantern was fully opened, and the thunder shield instantly dropped to 20%, and the alarm sounded so harsh that it made people hurt. But I didn't retreat, and the route provided by the navigation system was extremely accurate. The thunder number slipped several times, and it kept dodging most of the attacks, finally hitting the back of the Black Code. Calm the engine, charge the main gun. I pulled the trigger hard, and a beam of light hit the weak point of the engine. The body shook violently, and the smoke came out, and the speed dropped significantly. But Lu Feng's reaction was very fast, and the surrounding guards quickly returned to the rescue. The thunder was hit by a wave of firepower, and the shield collapsed. The body was damaged and the warning was crazy. Yalin, retreat, the thunder can't be stopped. Lin Shaoqing shouted in a hurry, but I ignored her and stared at the screen. Although the black treasure was stolen, the fighting force was still there. Lu Feng's firepower did not weaken much, and our fleet was almost at an extreme limit. At this moment, Lin Shaoqing suddenly slapped the table and shouted excitedly, Yalin, I just completed a prototype weapon to counter antimaterial bombs. This thing can interfere with the energy core of their team and suck their firepower system in a short time. Prototype weapon. My eyes lit up, hurry, start it. Lin Xiaoqing's fingers were flying fast, and the thunder's assist system emitted a low bird, and an invisible energy wave spread out. The energy reaction of the Lu Feng team became in chaos in an instant, and the firepower system seemed to be stuck, with the attack frequency decreased. What's going on? Lu Feng's voice was clearly shocked, but I didn't give him the time to react, and seized the opportunity to yell, all members will fight back, concentrate their firepower to crack down on the guards around the siege. The troops that rebelled were greatly excited and their firepower was fully opened. The several guards next to the black-purple number 1 were finally in chaos. I gritted my teeth and controlled the thunder. I risked the risk of the body being damaged. Another wave of main guns passed by. The engine of the Black Twinkle was completely invaded, and the body began to float without rules. Retreat. All members retreat. Lu Feng's voice finally caused a little panic. His team began to retreat. Although there were still a large number, the team was scattered. The rebels took the opportunity to chase and sank more than a dozen enemy ships. Strike! A cry broke out from the communication channel. I leaned on the seat, gasping for breath, and I felt not much joy in my heart. Although Lu Feng was beaten away, his elite team's main force was still there, and the threat of antimaterial bombardment was not lifted. This battle was just a temporary breathing. Yalin, your weapon is so awesome. I turned to Lin Shaoqing and grinned, this wave of counterattack will make you more despised. Don't tell me, this is just a prototype. Weapons that really counter antimaterial bombs have to continue to be developed. Lin Shaoqing pushed the lens, and his language was a little tired. However, Lu Feng has eaten this time and should not dare to fight hard again in a short time. Chen Meiqi's voice came from the message. Zhao Yalin, the rebel army has seen your performance, and your name is being conveyed in every corner of the Silver River. You have become the head enemy of Lu Feng and also the hope for our resistance. Hope. I looked down at my wristwatch. The blue light had disappeared, but I knew in my heart that the battle was not over. Lu Feng's report will definitely be even stronger, and the antimaterial explosion of swelling must be solved as quickly as possible. However, no matter what is ahead, I, Zhao Yalin, will not retreat. I want those who look down on me to kneel down and call me the queen. I sat in the Thunderbolt's guide, staring at the chaotic starry sky on the holographic screen, my heart beats as fast as a drumbeat. The elite team that just ran away Lu Feng, and the soldiers who resisted the army were very enthusiastic, but I knew in my heart that this guy would never be able to understand this. The antimatter bombing has not yet been resolved. Lu Feng must have held up a bigger trick and waited for us. Yalin, Leda detected abnormal energy fluctuations. Lin Xiaoqing's voice came from the technical position, with obvious tightness. She quickly tapped the control panel with her fingers, and a red warning area popped up on the screen, with high energy values, like the charging signal of some super-large weapon. Where is the location? I browed and felt that things were not right. The depth of the shadow star domain, Lu Feng's old nest direction. Lin Xiaoqing pushed the lens, his voice low. This wave coincides with the data we cracked before. It is probably an antimaterial bomb test site or factory. The energy value is still rising, so it is estimated that they are making the final preparations. The final preparation? I gritted my teeth and a burst of anger ignited in my heart. Lu Feng is so excited that he wants to blow up the Silver River system into slag. If the antimatter bomb really starts, don't say resisting the army, the alliance's own territory will have to be done together. Captain Chen, the situation is urgent, we have to move immediately. I shouted in the communication channel, and at the same time adjusted the star map and locked the energy reaction deep in the shadow star domain. I took the first ladder to directly rush Lu Feng's nest, the second ladder and the third ladder were responsible for controlling his fleet, so I couldn't give him a chance to breathe. Agree. Chen Meiqi's voice came from the channel, and the silence was a silence. Zhao Yalin, this operation is a back-to-water battle. Lu Feng's fleet and antimaterial bomb must be resolved at the same time. The resistance army will fully support you, don't let me down. Don't worry, Lu Feng is disappointed. I snorted coldly and ordered quickly. All members of the first ladder listened to my guidance, started the engine, and targeted the shadow star field deep, and rushed me. The troops that resisted the army quickly divided the team, and my thunder number brought 30 elite warships to the front and rushed Lu Feng's nest. As soon as the fleet entered the shadow star domain, Leda rushed to the police. Hundreds of enemy ships suddenly appeared in the starry sky ahead. The firepower network smashed over, and the guide bullets and energy beams were like rainstorms, instantly catching our pioneer team off guard. It's Lu Feng's fleet. Lin Xiaoqing quickly adjusted the enemy's data and gritted his teeth. This guy has brought at least 120 warships, and his firepower and defense are stronger than last time. The flag is still a black siege. It seems that he is in the town by himself. Sitting in the town by yourself? That's better. I sniffed the corner of my mouth and stared at the screen. Lu Feng was so heartbroken that he wanted to fight me head-on, but when did I, Zhao Yalin, be afraid? In the communication channel, I directly ordered, all members are scattered, adopt a sharp-shaped styling, and tear them apart from me their mid-lane firepower network. Although the number of the troops that rebelled were inferior, my combat instructions were simple and rough. Everyone quickly adjusted the team shape. The thunder led the head towards the center of the Lu Feng fleet, and the firepower was fully opened. The main gun beam directly tore an enemy guardrail. Other warships kept up and killed a bloody path in the other party's fire network. But Lu Feng's team is not a vegetarian. Their team shape is adjusted very quickly, and the firepower pressure makes us almost unable to lift our heads. The rebels were lost, and the 5 guards were crushed in the first wave of exchanges, and the communication channels were filled with the voices of the teammates. The thunder shield was also knocked out by 30%, and the police sound was so harsh that it hurt. Zhao Yalin, you are really not afraid of death. Lu Feng's voice came from the public channel, with an indescribable killing in his sneer. I thought I was defeated last time I won the game. Today I will let you see what real hope is. I hope. Let's talk about it when you can leave alive. I gritted my teeth and replied, and my fingers flew on the control panel to try to find the other party's crack. But Lu Feng's team shape this time is too stable, the firepower network is tight and the speed of the thunder is tightly pressed. At this moment, Lu Feng's voice sounded again, and he felt a little more proud in his language. I will tell you good news. The antimaterial explosion has already started. In another 3 hours, the Shadow Star domain will turn into a group of ignorance. Zhao Yalin, you and your rebel army, let me be buried with you. 3 hours? My heart was shocked and my eyes suddenly looked at the screen. Lin Xiaoqing's data analysis also jumped out at the same time, and the frequency of energy fluctuations was indeed accelerating, such as a large-scale weapon entering the final start stage. If Lu Feng said it is true, once the antimatter bomb explodes, not only us, but also his own team will be done together. Is this guy crazy? Lin Xiaoqing's voice was clearly shocked. The power of antimatter bombs can destroy the entire star field. He activated this thing, aren't he afraid that he would finish it? How can you not be afraid of death if you are crazy? I snorted coldly, and my brain flew quickly. Lu Feng must have a backup plan, which may be remote control or an escape plan, but no matter what, the 3-hour counter is called a deadline for us. We must find the blowing factory before this to stop the explosion. Yalin, we can't fight hard. We must break through and find the location of the bomb. Lin Xiaoqing slapped the table in a hurry, and the screen showed that our team loss had exceeded 20%. If we drag it on, the entire army would be defeated. It's certain that the sudden outbreak is certain, but how to break out? I clenched my teeth and swept the battlefield data. Lu Feng's team has too strong firepower and stable team shape, so we can't find any gap. At this moment, my watch suddenly vibrated, and the blue light flashed, and the familiar small words popped out. The star navigation system is activated, will it accept assistance? Accept. I didn't hesitate and directly pressed the confirmation key. The next second, the battle scene crashed into my brain like a flood, and the energy flow of Liu Feng's fleet, the charging time of weapons, and even the tiny cracks in the shape of the team were all shown in red marks. What surprised me even more was that there was an additional hidden seat tag on the screen, marked as Anti-Material Blasting Surgery Factory, located at the depth of a rock belt behind the Lu Feng farm. I found the location. My eyes lit up and my heart beat faster. The route provided by the navigation system is accurate, and even though you have to pass through the Lu Feng fleet firepower network, as long as you can pass, you can directly blow up the fiberglass factory. All members listened to my pointing, concentrated their firepower to hit their right wing, and I led the way to the wing. I shouted, and the thunder directly switched to the fight mode, and the energy was fully compressed to the engine and main gun, and rushed towards the right wing of the Lu Feng team. Although the troops that resisted the army were very frustrated, they still gritted their teeth and followed and carried the firepower to open the way for me. Zhao Yalin, do you still want to run away? Lu Feng's voice was filled with anger. The firepower of the guardrail around the Black Lantern was fully opened. The thunder shield instantly dropped to 10%, and the body was damaged and warned that the flickering flash was crazy. But I didn't retreat. The route provided by the navigation system made me slippery in several high-difficulty sides, and I tried to avoid most of the attacks, and finally drove out the firepower network and headed straight to the depth of the stone belt with several elite warships. Yalin, there are still pursuers behind. Lin Xiaoqing turned around and looked at the screen. Lu Feng divided some of the teams and bit us. Although the firepower was not as good as the main team, the number was too large to make people's skin numb. If you can't get rid of it, just hit it. I gritted my teeth and ordered, and the thunder number turned rapidly, with a wave of main guns and guides backhanded, accurately hitting the two guards of the pursuers, directly turning them into fireballs. The remaining enemy saw something bad, and the speed slowed down, giving us some breathing space. After a few minutes, we finally arrived at the coordinates of the navigation system tag, and a huge facility hidden deep in the stone belt came into view. It was a giant factory floating in the starry sky, with energy shields and defense turrets on the surface. Radar shows that the internal energy fluctuations are too high, which is definitely the core research and development location of antimatter explosions. Lin Shaoqing, prepare your counterweapons. I quickly ordered and shouted in the communication channel. The elite team and I rushed to the factory, and other warships were responsible for the haul, and dragged the pursuers. Received. Lin Shaoqing pointed his head and operated his fingers quickly. The Thunder's assist system began to charge and was ready to release the prototype counter-weapon used in the last battle. At the same time, I carried 10 fine warships and directly rushed the factory, with full firepower open, and the main gun beam hit the shield hard, trying to tear a gap. The factory's anti-war turret was extremely fierce, and the energy beam hit like a heavy rain. The 2 elite warships were shattered on the scene, and the Thunderbolt's body also began to smoke, with a bruising rate of 50%. But I didn't have time to hesitate, and the navigation system marked the weak position of the shield generator. I locked the target and fired a few main guns, and the shield finally broke down, revealing a passage leading to the inside. Go in! I shouted, and the Thunder took the head to the passage, and several warships behind followed him in. The interior of the factory is like a huge maze, full of mechanical arms and energy pipes. The radar shows that the core facilities are at its deepest point, and the energy fluctuations are almost out of the blue. I think there is still an hour left. Lin Shaoqing's voice was extremely quick. Yalin, we have to be quicker, otherwise it will be too late. It's time. I bit my teeth and the Thunder number shuttled through the narrow passage at high speed. The route provided by the navigation system made me avoid most of the automatic defense turrets, and finally arrived at the core facility, a huge anti-material reaction furnace, surrounded by dense control equipment, and the energy fluctuations made people's skin numb. Lin Shaoqing, are the counter-weapon ready? I turned to look at her, my fingers locked the energy core of the reaction furnace, ready to be hard. Okay, but you can only use it once, you must hit it accurately. Lin Shaoqing sweated heavily and quickly adjusted the parameters. I'm here to interfere with their energy flow, you're responsible for the last hit. Trade. I clicked the head, the main gun of the Thunder began to charge, and Lin Shaoqing released the energy wave of the counter-weapon, which instantly caused the control equipment around the reaction furnace to fall into chaos. The energy flow became extremely unstable, and the defense system was in a short time. That's right now. I pulled the trigger hard, and the main gun beam directly hit the energy core of the reaction furnace. With a huge shock that shocked the earth, the reaction furnace burst out with dazzling light, and then began to collapse, and the entire factory shook violently, as if it was about to disassemble it. Stop when counting down, the explosion core will be destroyed. Lin Shaoqing shouted excitedly, showing the energy waves on the screen that rapidly declined, and the threat of the antimaterial explosion was finally lifted. I leaned against the seat, gasping for breath, and felt very happy. This wave of crisis was resolved by us, and Lu Feng's plan was finally soaked. Retreat. The factory is about to collapse. I quickly ordered the Thunder, carrying the remaining fine warships out of the passage, and just flew out of the factory area. The entire facility turned into a huge fireball. The explosion of the impact waves shattered the surrounding stones. The warships against the army were barely stable and successfully departed from the dangerous area. Zhao Yalin, you have actually destroyed my efforts. Lu Feng's voice came from the public channel, and was so anxious that he was almost roaring. Antimatter bomb is my ultimate weapon. You guy, I want you to pay for it. Add to price. Let's see if you have any life. I sneered. The Thunder rejoined the battlefield. Although the troops against the army were seriously in trouble, the bombing threat was lifted and the military instantly reached the top. Chen Meiqi's second and third tier teams also arrived, and she set out a final battle with Lu Feng's fleet. Lu Feng was obviously already in a state of chaos. The black light number rushed towards the thunder number without regard for everything, and the firepower was fully opened, as if he was so excited that he wanted to share the same situation with me. His guard team was also adjusted, and the team was completely indifferent to the defense from the rear, and he just attacked wildly, turning the battlefield into a mixed battle. Yalin, he wants to fight you hard. Lin Shaoqing gritted her teeth. The thunder shield had completely collapsed, and the body damage rate exceeded 70%, and it could be disassembled at any time. Terror. Then come. I clenched my teeth and the navigation system started again, marking out the last weakness of the black lanyard, the energy pipeline behind the engine. As long as it hits, it can completely wipe out his flag. I quickly ordered, all members will cover me up, last blow. The troops that rebelled the troops opened the way for me with the last firepower. The thunder took Lu Feng's attack and rushed to the back of the black pill. The main gun was locked at the weak point and the energy was full. I pulled the fender down hard. A beam of light tore apart the battleground, hitting the energy pipeline, and the engine of the black tin exploded instantly. The body began to float without rules, and the combat force was completely lost. Zhao Yalin, I'm not willing to give up. Lu Feng's voice was filled with anger, but his flag was no longer able to move, and the guards were also defeated by the rebels, and the remaining battleships began to flee in all directions. Strike! A thunderous cry broke out in the communication channel. Although the war against the army had lost half, we successfully destroyed the antimatter bombing factory and recreated Lu Feng's fleet. In this battle, Lu Feng's plan was completely destroyed, his strength was uprooted, and the crisis in the Silver River Gyre was finally lifted. I leaned against the seat, and my body felt like it was falling apart, but I felt so happy. Lu Feng was beaten to me and the threat of antimaterial bombing was gone. From today on, my name, Zhao Yalin, will affect the entire Silver Galaxy. Yalin, you created another story. Lin Shaoqing turned her head and looked at me, her eyes full of admiration. In this battle, the rebels will remember your name. The transmission is not over yet. I grinned and looked down at my wristwatch. The blue light had disappeared, but I knew in my heart that although Lu Feng was finished, the darkness of the Alliance's high-level areas had not been cleaned up yet. The future of the Silver River Galaxy, I said that. Those who look down on me have long been so angry that they kneel down and call me the Queen. I sat in the Thunder Numbers Guide, and my body seemed to be exhausted, but my heart was filled with an unprecedented desire to fight. Just destroyed the antimaterial bombing factory, Lu Feng's fleet was beaten to pieces by us, and the black tines were scattered in the starry sky, floating like a pile of wastelands. His roar was still replied on the public channel, full of reluctance and hatred, but all of this came to me was just the beginning. Zhao Yalin, do you think you won? I still have a trump card. If you resist this group of garbage, you will never fight to the Alliance. Lu Feng's voice was as sandy as a broken wind box, but I could hear that he was dying. The trump card? Then take it out and take a look. I sneered, and my fingers flew fast on the control panel. Although the thunder number was damaged and severe, there was almost no shield, but the main gun could still be launched. I locked the dead body of the black penis and prepared for him a last hit. Yalin, wait. Lin Shaoqing suddenly slapped me and pushed the lens, with a gleam in her eyes. Lu Feng must know more shady stories about the Alliance's high level. Now that he is killed, the thread is cut off. We have to capture him alive and dig out all the truth. Catch it alive? I bowed and felt a little unhappy. Lu Feng, a fellow man, caused us to lose weight. So many brothers who resisted the army died, and I wish I could only kill him in one shot now. But Lin Shaoqing said it makes sense. The Alliance's high-level corruption is not only Lu Feng, but behind the anti-material bombing plan, there must be even bigger fish. Okay, I'll hear you. I gritted my teeth and ordered in the communication channel. The elite team and I broke into the Black Core. Other warships are responsible for cleaning up the enemy. I must ensure that Lu Feng is alive. Although the troops that rebelled were half lost, their military power was too high, and everyone quickly adjusted the team shape, with more than a dozen elite warships following the Thunder number and directly slamming the Black Skull number. Lu Feng's fleet had almost dispersed. When the remaining warships were killed, they lost their courage to resist and ran away. The black-colored body has been broken, the engine has been completely destroyed, and there are not many anti-war turrets that can be moved. We took our team closer, and the Thunder robot arm directly locked the escape portal of the Black-Purple number 1. Lin Shaoqing quickly entered the other party's system and opened the door. A few minutes later, the raiding team of the rebel army rushed in and dragged Lu Feng and his several confidants out in no time. Zhao Yalin, you guy. Lu Feng was pressed and knelt in the detention box of Thunder. His face was covered in blood and his eyes were full of resentment. Do you think I'll win if I catch it? The senior veterans in the Alliance have already prepared a way out. You are just jumping clowns when you resist the army. Jumping clown? I looked at him coldly, and a sarcastic look appeared on the corner of my mouth. What's the point of kneeling in front of me now? Let's say, who else can participate in the plan of antimaterial explosion? If you don't say it clearly, I guarantee that you can't keep all your corpses. Lu Feng bit his teeth tightly, his face was blue, but there was a silk silhouette in his eyes. I know that this guy is afraid of dying, otherwise he would not have left a escape route. Lin Shaoqing stood beside me, holding a data tablet in her hand and opened her mouth lightly. Lu Zheng, my cracking technology is not a vegetarian. I have cut off a part of your team's communication record, and there are many interesting names in it, such as Vice Chairman Zhang of the Alliance Association, and Minister Li of the Resources Department. Do I want me to continue digging? Lu Feng's face turned pale in an instant, and cold sweat broke out on his head. He obviously didn't expect that we had such multiple traces in our hands. After a few seconds of silence, he finally opened his mouth, his voice as low as a mosquito hum. Okay, I say, the antimatter bombing plan was promoted by several bigwigs of the Alliance. They wanted to use this thing to solve all the resistance forces in one go and redividate the resources of the Silver River. I am just an executor, the real mastermind behind the scenes, Zhang Tianhua and Li Yenyuan. Zhang Tianhua. Li Yenyuan. I browed. I heard these two names. They were both top bosses of the Alliance. They held heavy power, and their resources and military forces were in their hands. No wonder Lu Feng dared to be so rude and had such a tough backer behind him. What else? I snorted coldly, staring at him. Don't tell me you only know this. Lu Feng swallowed, and the voice continued to tremble. They also have a backup plan at the secret base of the Central Star Field. If the antimaterial explosion fails, they will start another weapon project called the Star Nuclear Crackdown Armor, which is no less powerful than the explosion. If you don't stop it, the Silver Galaxy will be ruined. Star Core Collapse Device? My heart sank. It's not easy to hear this name. Although Lu Feng is hateful, now it seems that what he said is probably the truth. The corruption of the Alliance's high-level corruption is deeper than I thought. If it is not uprooted, today's victory will be a waste of time. Captain Chen, did you hear it? I reported to Chen Meiqi in the communication channel. Lu Feng explained to the mastermind behind the scenes, and there was a plan for the Star Core crash device. We had to act immediately and took the League's high-level nest. Received. Chen Meiqi's voice was calm and calm. The Resistance Army will immediately gather all its forces and take the Central Star Domain. Zhao Yalin, you will escort Lu Feng to the meeting and discuss with the people who will expose their crimes. I promise that the Resistance Army will give you the greatest support. I understand. I pointed my head and a struggle aroused in my heart. I have arrested Lu Feng, and the high-level crimes of the Alliance are in hand. In this battle, I want those high-ranking veterans to pay the price. A few days later, the rebels arrived at the Central Star Domain in a stern manner, which was the core of the Alliance's power. The starry sky was filled with defense teams and space stations. The energy fluctuations displayed by Leda were strongly deviated, which obviously was prepared for a comprehensive war. But I was not panicked at all. The Resistance Army launched this time, with hundreds of warships plus my Thunder Numbers Combat Command. Who are you afraid of? The Alliance team heard the order, and Zhao Yalin led the rebel army to liquidate the crime. I shouted directly in the public channel, the sound was as cold as a knife. Zhang Tianhua, Li Yenyuan, and all the guys involved in the antimatter bomb and the Star Core collapse plan will roll me out and die. Otherwise, I will blow your central star field into slag. As the voice fell, the Alliance team was indeed blown up. The channel was full of their panic. The Resistance Army is coming? Didn't Zhao Yalin just defeat Lu Feng? Why was it killed so soon? Obviously, my name has been spread throughout the Silver River, and even the soldiers of the Alliance began to be scared when they heard it. Zhao Yalin, you are so traitorous, dare to challenge the authority of the Alliance. A low voice came from the channel, and it sounded like Zhang Tianhua, full of anger in his language. Do you think you can turn the world if you catch Lu Feng? The defense of the Central Star Domain is solid, but you will be killing the army. Send to death. Try to see. I sneered, and my fingers flew on the control panel, and ordered, all members listened to me and used a three-pointed shaped shape to tear their defense network and directly slammed the Central Committee's building. The rebels quickly expanded their shape, and the Thunder, as the stunner, led the first ladder to directly slam the center of the Alliance's fleet. At this moment, my watch suddenly vibrated, and the blue light flashed, and the familiar small words popped out. The star navigation system is activated. Will it accept the help? Accept. I pressed the confirmation key without hesitation. The next second, the battle data swept into the brain, and the weaknesses, energy flow, and team shape of the Alliance team were all clearly marked. The navigation system also gave a conflicting line, pointing directly to the space station where the Central Committee's building is located. There is also a red mark next to it, showing, Star Core Crasher Storage Point. I found the goal. My eyes lit up and my heart beat faster. The accuracy of the navigation system changes simply. As long as you pass by according to the route, you can directly snatch the Yellow Dragon and destroy their backup weapons. All members keep up and concentrate their firepower to attack them in the middle. I yelled, and the Thunder firepower was fully opened, and the main gun beam directly tore a joint guard. The soldiers of the anti-army team were greatly excited, killing a bloody path in the opponent's firepower network. Although the Alliance team has a large number, the team shape is adjusted too slowly and the firepower is dispersed, which cannot resist our impulse at all. How is that possible? Zhang Tianhua's voice came from the channel, bringing a clear shock, but I didn't give him a chance to breathe. The Thunder team directly rushed to the space station where the Central Committee's building was located. The route marked by the navigation system allowed us to avoid most of the defense batteries. After several main guns were fired, the shield of the space station directly cracked. Assault team, come in with me. After I gave the order, Thunder No. 1 was docked at the entrance of the space station, and the elite soldiers who resisted the army quickly rushed in, and within a few minutes they controlled the main passage of the council building. Zhang Tianhua and Li Yenyuan, two veterans, were blocked by us in the conference hall, and their faces were hard to look like they had eaten shit. Zhao Yalin, how dare you agree to this rebellious situation? Zhang Tianhua wanted to be stubborn, but I didn't give him the opportunity, so I dragged Lu Feng out of the detention box and threw it in front of him. Speak for everyone to hear your crime. I looked at Zhang Tianhua coldly, and at the same time, let Lin Shaoqing publicize the recording and communication records that Lu Feng explained in the All-Star Domain channel. The plan of antimatter bombing, the backup of the Star Core crash device, and the dark side of their embezzlement of resources and the pressure of the star field were shaken out one by one, and the Alliance soldiers and ordinary people were stunned. You. Zhang Tianhua was so angry that his face was purple, but he could no longer say anything. The soldiers who resisted the army directly took him and Li Yan away. The defense team in the Central Star Domain had gone, and they surrendered, and the rebel army finally controlled the core of the Alliance. The storage point of the star core crash device is deep in the space station, and it must be destroyed. Lin Xiaoqing quickly adjusted the data and pointed to the location of the navigation system mark. I clicked the head and drove the team over, and fired the storage points directly into pieces by firing a few main guns. The last trump card of the League's high level was finally over. After the war ended, the control of the central star domain completely fell into the hands of the rebel army. The alliance's high-level corruption was beaten by a network. Zhang Tianhua, Li Yenyuan and others were convicted in the open trial of the entire star domain, and Lu Feng was also imprisoned by the most serious prisoner, and only waiting for him was torture. A few months later, the situation in the Silver River Galaxy changed drastically, and the rebel army became a new leading force, and my name, Zhao Yalin, responded to every star field. From border soldiers to alliance soldiers, to ordinary international residents, whoever hears my name will be unable to help but pay tribute. Some people even call me, Queen of the Star. Yalin, all major forces in the Silver River sphere have issued a declaration of surrender. Chen Meiqi stood in the newly built command center, holding a pile of data tablets in her hand, and was filled with relief in her language. They are willing to accept the new order, and the plan of the unified team can be officially launched. Single team. I leaned on the finger chair, and a smile appeared on the corner of my mouth. Okay, from today, there is only one team in the Silver River Gyrus, that is my team. Whoever dares not accept it, let them try the main gun of the thunder. Chen Meiqi clicked the head and then turned around to arrange the details of the new order. Lin Xiaoqing walked over, pushed the lens, and joked, "The Queen of Stars sounds very powerful. However, the united team is just the first step. How to maintain peace next cannot be solved by fighting alone." Peace. I glanced at her, with a calm look on my face. Don't worry, since I, Zhao Yalin, can build this starry sky, I have the ability to keep it. A peaceful and prosperous era is not only my goal, but also the future that every life in the Silver River sphere deserves. In the next few years, Chen Meiqi and Lin Xiaoqing, I worked together to rebuild the Order of the Silver River. The united team became the most powerful force of weaponry, and any challenger was crushed to no avail. Lin Xiaoqing's technical team has developed a brand new energy system to make resource allocation more fair, and the battle between the star domain is gradually disappearing. Chen Meiqi is responsible for rebuilding the international law and ensuring that her rights are no longer sanctioned by a few people. The new center of the central star field rose from the ground, and I stood on the top viewing platform, overlooking the starry sky, with an indescribable satisfaction in my heart. Once, I was just a primary school student from a military school in the border area, and was trampled under my feet by Chui house carvings, but now, every inch of land in the Silver River Galaxy has my name engraved. Queen of Stars, it sounds good. I looked down at my wristwatch. The blue light had long disappeared, but I knew that this mysterious navigation system had long become a part of me. It helped me through the darkest moments and witnessed every step I had from the infamous pawn to the overlord of the river. Yalin, the annual inspection of the fleet has begun, and representatives of all major star fields have arrived. Lin Xiaoqing's voice came from the communication device, with a little skin. Don't you show your face, shock the scene. Show up. It's necessary. I grinned and turned toward the bridge. The thunder number has been repaired long ago and is parked outside the center of the guide, with the cold light in the body, as if waiting for my call. When I stood on the inspection platform, overlooking the representatives of the major forces in the Silver River Galaxy and countless soldiers, a thunderous cry broke out on the whole field, "Queen of Stars! Queen of Stars!" The sound spread across the starry sky, engraved into my heart like a knife. I started my hand and signaled everyone to be at peace. Then I opened my mouth. My voice was low and powerful. The past of the Silver River Galaxy is full of war, fire and darkness, but from today on, we will create a new era. Peace, justice and freedom, this is my promise to you. Who dares to challenge the new order, I will crush them with my hands. The voice fell, and the whole scene was boiling again, and the sound of shouting was almost tearing the starry sky. When I looked at all this, there was only one thought in my mind: this starry sky finally belonged to me. Those who once looked down on me, those who had forced the silver galaxy, were trampled under my feet. And I, Zhao Yalin, became the true international queen, an eternal revelation. Lin Shaoqing and Chen Meiqi stood behind me, smiling at each other, and their eyes were filled with relief. 3 of us, coming from the war fire, witnessed every step of the Silver River Galaxy from chaos to peace. At this moment, all the efforts are worth it. The starry sky is boundless, and the future is endless. And I, Zhao Yalin, just started. Every star in the Silver River will remember my name forever.